Now, John Paul, Dancing Vine, again, classic hit. Like, one that just rings true for so many people and has done so much for so many. But I, for the life of me, can't remember what happens or what it is. So could you please paint me a word picture?
Leon, I can certainly try. Our scene opens focused on a single character, a young woman, standing in an apartment that is lit with white light, and although it's not explicitly mentioned in the dialogue, a cat lies comfortably on a bed. She's dancing to a rendition of Holmes' Resonance, a nice little techno song. She's gyrating in the first scene, and they all flick... No, I'm doing bad at this. I'm doing bad at describing this one. Yeah, I've gone blank. Yeah.
No, you're not doing bad. No, mate, it's all... No,
No.
Yeah, look, I think what you were going for... Now, I don't want to step on your toes, because obviously...
No.
I'm not... I don't do the... I could do... But I don't do the recaps. I use this for compilation fodder.
It's compilation fodder, yeah.
I think you were going to say that there's gyrating in all the clips to some extent.
Yes. Yeah, no, there is.
But locations change.
Yes.
And characters change.
Well...
And John Paul, can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah. Here's my thoughts on the character changes. It's really developed over the 7 seconds that we see of this vine. And that cat, man. That cat just makes it for me.
Well, as she gyrates in the kitchen, I think, first. And then she's like in the lounge room. And then she's like on top of the washing machine.
Yeah.
And then
with a cat?
I don't know when
Does
the cat
she have the cat
in.
at that stage?
At some point, this cat that John Paul mentioned earlier that was probably sleeping quite comfortably somewhere is picked up by under its arm, so it is as long as it possibly can be. And then she like gyrates behind it whilst holding it kind of with it thing.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like that. And then at the end, she spins the cat and her around. She does a couple of pirouettes out of here. And I would say the highlight is how high her pants are.
Yeah.
So that is probably the best word picture that we've ever painted.
It's certainly one of them.
It's definitely the 11th one that we've done.
It's the best derailed word picture that we've ever done.
It's the best team effort of a word picture.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We definitely jumped in. We collaborated on that one.
Oh, yeah, it's all about collaborating.
Yes, and...
yes, for sure. Now, John Paul, I know it's misleading because I did just do a seamless impersonation of the man in the video, which would imply that I probably know what happened in the video, but against
I'm pretty intimidated,
popular demand, I don't remember anything. So could you please paint me a word picture?
Well, Leon, after last week, I'll definitely just try. Our scene opens in a crowded space, boxes and old bags lying all around. We see a gloved individual pointing towards something in this space. The camera widens out, and we see two gentlemen looking through a storage container, and one of them sees a box in the corner and proceeds to say, "What the fuck is this?" To which the original man we were focused on turns to the camera and says, "What's your profanity?" And that's where the vine ends.
Well, chills are down my spine, as they always
Can I
are.
just say I didn't feel good about that impression. I didn't.
No, take another run at it. I'll edit it in. It'll be seamless. No one will ever know.
Well, Kenny's probably going to listen to this and hear me do this terrible impression of him saying, "What's your profanity?" And I mean, he's not going to be happy about it, Leon.
Now, this Vine I did watch just moments ago, but
Good.
I am so full of knowledge and wisdom on other Vines, I've forgotten about this one. So, John Paul, could you please paint me a word picture?
Leon, I can certainly try. Our scene opens with a wide shot of a busy cityscape. In the center frame is a large sign displaying the logo of a fast food chain, known as Del Taco, a subsidiary of Del Taco Holdings Limited. The unknown camera operator tightens the shot on a message board of the aforementioned sign. We are then encouraged by this voice to, and I quote, "Get to Del Taco. They got a new thing called Free Shavakadu." Our Vine artist, or Vanartist, a clever portmanteau of Vine and artist that yes, that's the one I'm going to go with, proceeds to scream, "Free Shavakadu," but is cut off by the Vine time constraints, or Vime constraints. No, I flew too close to the sun on that one. I'm sorry. No, we won't go with that one. But that's where the Vine ends.
Thank you, Icarus.
Yes. Good
mythology.
Yes.
Or is it a Hamilton reference? So look,
is it?
They do in Hamilton. They reference the mythology. By calling him an Icarus who flew too close to the sun. Now, on this mythology podcast, I'd really like to delve into Icarus.
Let's talk about Icarus, everybody. Let's take a quick brief intermission from this Free Shavakadu and talk about Icarus, what really matters to us.
The podcast runs for 10 minutes, so let's take a 20-minute brief discussion of Icarus.
Yes.
John Paul, could you please paint me a word picture of Cheese of Truth?
Of this extremely nuanced vine, I certainly can. I can certainly try, I suppose I should say. Our scene opens with a close-up of the front page of September 2009's issue of the Daily Mail, a popular UK newspaper. As we adjust to the visual feast this Vanartist, sticking with it, has presented to us, we recognise a plastic container bearing Swiss cheese slices. A pair of hands enter the frame and extract a slice of cheese from the packet, exclaiming, "The cheese of truth!" An apparent prayer to the omnipresent cheese gods. The cheese is passionately deposited on the main text of the front page to reveal the truth according to cheese. Our Vanartist reads the words visible through the eyes of the cheese. Immigrants cause cancer. And that's where the vine ends.
You really stuck into that one.
Really went after that one.
Really committed to that.
You should have seen me over here. My eyes rolled back. I started sweating.
I feel like you were just grabbing the table as you were shaking and convulsing as every time you said "Cheese of Truth."
I was trying to position myself as the alpha just in case the rat was listening.
Yeah, you listen here, rat. I can read a headline better than anyone, you bastard.
You better believe I can paint a word picture, rat.
Come at me. Step to this. John Paul, I did just watch this, but I think more than ever I can claim ignorance on this one and not knowing what happens. Could you please paint me a word picture if you got this, Travis?
Leon, I can certainly try. Our scene opens with a wide shot of a warmly lit room. What looks like a great horned owl walks confidently across a checkered carpeted floor. A voice that the audience understands to be the owl's inner thoughts reveals that the owl's name is Travis. Travis speaks words of encouragement to himself, saying, and I quote, "You've got this, Travis. Make them wait for it." Travis stops by a coffee table made of what appears to be the richest walnut. They turn their head sharply to the camera and exclaim, "Boom." And according to this reporter, the wait was worth it. And that's where the vine ends.
The Vine word pictures are getting much more gusto, energy. There's peaks, there's troughs. It's like a roller coaster that also would similarly have peaks and troughs.
It's because Vine is working through me, Leon.
You're just a channel.
I have surrendered myself
a vessel
to Vine.
I am a channel of your peace. Was that the old church hymn?
I agree. We should start singing more church hymns on this podcast.
If you guys would like to hear songs that John Paul and I sang for many years in church when we were forced to go, let us share some with you now.
Yeah, that I still just will be driving down the street and start singing a very religious song.
Oh, yeah.
And my wife will be awfully confused.
I am very much the channel because they do just appear. And the thing for you is that obviously your wife is did not have a religious upbringing, but my partner did in a different kind of Christian style church, which means that I'll sing a song and then she'll either sing the same song back to me and we have this moment of or I'll sing a song, and then she'll sing something different at me, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Where did that come from?
Not
This is
the
wrong.
song.
That's not how it goes.
How dare you?
But I hadn't seen it before, so again, I don't really know what happened. So if you would do me the honour, could you please paint me a word picture?
Leon, I can certainly try. Our scene opens with a close-up of a wide-eyed little pug. The pug is chewing on a small, puppy-sized, orange tennis ball, a recommended activity to increase jaw strength and dental hygiene for dogs. I mean, I don't do it, but we hear a voice from behind the camera address the dog, saying, and I quote, "Hey, I shoved that ball down my pants." The pug pauses. His eyes widen with a sudden realization of genital contact. He slowly releases the ball, letting it drop to the floor, and avoids eye contact, taking stock of his life choices. And that's where the vine ends.
It's one of the sadder vines we've had to cover.
It's
a serious topic.
It's cute sad.
Yeah. Although I've got an animal, and never once have I seen one of her items and been like, and put that down my pants and then give it to you to play with, because then I'll know. Like, what? What's wrong with you? A great vine that I love, and I love it so much, I've forgotten what it contains. So, John Paul, could you please paint me and all those around us in this mortal realm a word picture?
Okay.
A little bit of pressure.
I'll certainly try. Our scene opens with a close-up of a single character. The character is presented with a business tie around his head, as if it were a sweatband, and silver-rimmed sunglasses. He removes the sunglasses and intrigues us by saying, and I quote, "So basically, but his thought and our intrigue are interrupted by a Tyson-esque haymaker to the side of the head from a character entering from off-screen, to which our main character exclaims, 'I can't believe you've done this.' And that's where the vine ends."
As always, I do try to stay as silent as possible so I can cut it out later, but
I got you with that haymaker, did I?
Haymaker. Because he does get fucking hit.
Yeah, it's a good little jab.
I'd love it, John Paul, if you could paint me a word picture.
Okay, I'll certainly try to, Leon. I'd like to thank Sam, one of our listeners, for sending this vine in to us and asking us to have a look at it. And so here we are. Here's the word picture.
You need a lozenge?
No, I'm all good.
You know I've got to edit that.
Just doing my traditional vocal warm-ups.
Like I have to listen to that again.
I've hurt myself doing that, actually. Ow.
Not the preferred method.
I don't think so. Anyway, Snake, take me away. Take 2. A young man sits deep in thought at what looks like a classroom desk. The camera zooms slowly to reveal that wrapped around the young man's fist is what looks like a python. The man removes the python from in front of his face to reveal that he's sucking on a lollipop. Fascinating. He removes the lollipop from his mouth and offers it to the python. And as Natasha Bedingfield sings "Take Me Away," a sweet escape, the python accepts, extending his tongue to indulge in his sweet escape. And that's where the vine ends.
Poetic.
I really went down sort of an adult novel direction with that word picture I found.
Yes, Snake in this is his penis. We weren't clear on that, I don't think.
Yeah, no, it is
confronting.
These are my first sort of drafts of the next 50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Snake. See what I tried?
We'll workshop that one.
Off air, during your review meeting. To help the listener even more so than myself this week, I think it will obviously help if you paint some kind of word picture for them to be able to look at the video and then say, oh, yes, this is exactly the one he was talking about. So if you could do that, that'd be great.
I feel that I may be able to, Leon. Our vine begins with a close-up of a young man who we very quickly learn is very British. He apologizes to us for not making any vines over recent weeks, days, months. Who knows? The audience is immediately intrigued to understand the reason why. He states the reason to be that he and a young lady in the car seat beside him, let's call her Carly, because that's what, he calls her, so we'll just go with that. They've taken a trip. They've taken a trip down to the shops. Then the camera cuts to reveal standstill traffic ahead of their vehicle as Arthur exclaims that their journey begun, and I quote, 2 fucking weeks ago. And that's where the vine ends.
As always, just completely captivating for myself and the listeners, especially Tom, I would assume.
Indeed.
He's just on the edge of his seat right now.
Wetting his pants, I'm sure.
And we are sure. It's a favourite of mine, but because of the medication for Crohn's, I can't remember a goddamn thing. So, could you please paint me a word picture?
I can try, Leon. I can certainly try. Our vine opens with a wide shot of a young man standing in a dimly lit living room. He has a shirt and shorts on, and he's standing with 2 recorders in his hand, which is peculiar and invites our interest. He then yells that he's John Cena, the name of a popular and also criticized wrestler of the WWE. He then raises the 2 flutes to, what's that? His nose? He places one in each nostril and begins to blow out John Cena's, is it called blowing? I don't know. Play John Cena's theme music on these 2 recorders. He cinches his eyes so tightly shut, tighter than I've ever seen any eyes be closed before. And that's where the vine ends.
Wow, just so vivid.
So vivid.
It's almost like I've watched it recently.